Hello and welcome to the latest and final episode for this season of the Rangers Women's Supporters Group podcast. I've said it so many times I forgot what it was. As always, I'm joined by Car and Alan. How are you both doing?
Soaking wet, but happy.
Alan?
Yeah, it's been a good day. Even the absolutely shocking weather for the end of May hasn't spoiled it, so...
No, you can't expect it to be dry all the time. Can't have it all the good ways. But anyway,
some of the time would be nice.
Well, this is true. It'll probably be nice now that there's no football for a good few weeks. We'll probably have a glorious summer now. Anyway, we'll head into the news because nobody's tuned in for a weather update. So we had several player contracts this week, Cash. We'll just run through them quickly because most were 2 years, apart from Brogan, who was 3 years. But on 2-year contract extensions, we've got the captain, Nick Dock, co-captain, Cathy Hill, Lizzie Arnott, Jodie McCleary, Ailey Austin, Kirsty Howitt, and Rio Hardy. Were you happy with all them?
Very happy. The only one I was maybe surprised by was Lizzie. I thought maybe she'd be one of the ones that'd be away, but she has, offered us big moments this season, popping up with goals. Alan, you've got a good stat on that. I can't remember exactly how many she scored this season, but I'm sure that you'll mention it. But the rest of them absolutely buzzing, especially the likes of the young team, getting them all signed up, the ones that have been announced, and Rio getting her signed up, because I'm assuming maybe she was only on a 1-year deal last year when she came in. So, yeah, very happy with all of them. Hopefully a few more to come, because there's a few in there that noticeably not there, that a bit of a worry for me and probably for everyone else, but absolutely buzzing with all of them, especially Brogan. Brogan will be here forever. Brogan will be here longer than Jo is, potentially, unless she signs another extension, which is just what Brogan's offered us the whole time that she's been here. It's just incredible.
Yeah, definitely it is. Jo had said in our kind of exclusive that you got, Alan, there was going to be contract extensions over the next couple of weeks, so we'll be expecting probably some more next week, do you think?
I definitely think it'll be a busy week. Jo hadn't specifically said it'd be contract extensions. She just said a lot of news on sort of comings and goings. So now the season's done after today, we might even see some new signings as well as confirmation of some players leaving. But, possibly that's just being optimistic.
Yeah, Karen, we did get confirmation of one player that's leaving after the game today. Couldn't really make out what she said because the PA system in Hampden's terrible, but Lisa did tell us over the PA system that she was going to be leaving at the end of the game today and was obviously very emotional. So, do you want to have a little chat about Lisa?
I just love her. She just, as a player, what she offered us in her first season back was tremendous. She was just so good and popped up with goals. She was better attacking than defensively at times, I think. But I think since her injury, she's just not been the same. She's maybe not been as fit. She's not got the pace. She's struggling a little bit. And so I understand why the club have decided that now's the time to maybe part ways. And maybe she'll go somewhere where she'll actually get game time, which is obviously what you want for a player. But as somebody that, I'm in a lot of fan clubs, it seems, but especially like Lisa, it's gutting because I really wanted her to do really well for us, and she loves the club. You can see what it means to her. I've spoken to her a few times, and she says that she just absolutely loves the club and everything about it. So it's gutting for her, but hopefully, maybe get a club closer to home or somewhere else so she can go and flourish, and maybe we'll see her back again at some point.
Yeah, I think with the injury she was coming back for, it was always going to be difficult for her to kind of hit the ground running with form. Plus, the likes of Ailey coming in, the younger players, it was always going to be difficult for her to make her way into that backline when it was so strong for the majority of the season.
Absolutely. Anybody coming back from these ACL injuries seems to take a bit of time to really find some form, and as much as we've conceded some daft goals through the season, it's been a really strong sort of backline, and it's been hard for Lisa, but also hard for young Ailey to get as many minutes as maybe she'd like. So, sorry to see Lisa go. She's massively popular with the whole fan base, but she's got to need to play. So hopefully she's going to go somewhere and play sort of week in, week out, and reach the levels that Lisa can reach.
Yeah, so we'll wait on what other news follows this week. There'll probably be a kind of roundup if there's anybody else leaving, but we'll see what happens there. But we will talk about the game today, Cash. We were in, obviously, cup final action. Chad's another trophy. And the starting lineup was Vic Essex goals. It was Nick Dock, Rachel McLaughlin, Cathy Hill, Tess Medag, Brogan Hay, Kirsty Howitt, Lizzie Arnott, Chelsea Cornett, Kirsty McLean, and Liv McLaughlin. I think the biggest surprise that we had kind of noticed was one up front, Kirsty Howitt up there by herself.
Yeah, it was like a back four and then one up front. I don't know if Joe's maybe just looking at options for next season. We can potentially have, different formations that we can go in, but a cup final first half's a bit of a bold move to try that in. But Joe's a very bold person. She likes to try these things. Obviously, we're playing Hearts, so it's not maybe as big of a test as it would have been had it been Celtic. I don't think she would have maybe done that. But yeah, definitely a perplexing one. And then it's just very, very strange. I don't know, but I mean, it didn't go wrong, so it worked, I guess. But yeah, very strange.
Yeah, I suppose it keeps the other clubs guessing, Alan, if the manager's willing to just try out things, even in a cup final.
Definitely. I do believe it's something that they've been working on in training, but my suspicion is it's possibly an attempt to try and get Rachel McLaughlin and Nicola Docherty involved higher up the park by giving them the freedom to go forward from fullback. But we obviously reverted sort of back to plan A in the second half, and it seemed to be a reasonably smooth transition.
Yeah, Cash, so obviously the game started and the rain was pouring down and there really wasn't too much happening in the first half. I think there was kind of more chances for us, I would say, but when the chance did come, up stepped your fave, Rachel McLaughlin, and she certainly knows how to hit them.
I mean, the space she was offered is just incredible. You never see that, but she took it so well. She just strides into the space and just absolutely hits it perfectly. I don't know how far out she is, but she's nearly at the halfway line. Like, she's so far back and she just hits it and it just goes straight in. Goalie probably should have done better, but I'm not caring about that because it's an absolute peach of a goal. And, she celebrated, but she doesn't do tap-ins. That's what Rachel McLaughlin does. She loves a long-range goal, and it's just incredible. And we were struggling a little bit, I think, especially in the midfield. We were getting a little bit overrun at times and our passing wasn't great. Very end of the season game, which it was. It's the last game of the season. But she just steps up and hits it so perfectly. And it just kind of calms everyone down then because we're on the up then. But tremendous goal. Everybody needs to go and watch it because it's just outstanding and superb. It's just incredible.
Yeah, it would have been a goal that was worthy of winning on its own, but thankfully we did add to it, as we'll touch on. But Alex, we went in 1-0 up at half time and were fairly comfortable, to be honest. Hatch never really troubled us at all.
No, there was rare that Hearts got in behind. There were one or two moments, but they never really gave Vic Essex much of a test and goal. It was just a case, could we actually go on and exert our dominance by scoring a second goal? But went in at half time, 1-0 up, reasonably happy. And if it finished 1-0, you'd have said that was a goal fitting to win any game, let alone a cup final. So we're quite comfortable at half time with nothing particularly to worry about other than only have the cushion of the one goal.
Yeah, Cash, so we come back out, obviously had more chances. I think it was the end that we could actually see was kind of clearer, so it benefited us. And then around 60 minutes, we made the changes that made us revert back to our usual kind of system. So Kirsty McLean, Tess Medag and Brogan Hay went off, and on came Rachel Rowe, Rio Hardy and Mia McCauley. And I think after that, that's when we really kicked on, where you could see the players seem to be more comfortable in the usual kind of formation we've been playing like the full season.
Yeah, we had a lot more joy down the wings with Mia, and Rachel Rowe and Mia were linking up quite well, especially in front of us, and then they switched over when Lizzie came over. But I think they are used to playing that way, so it probably just kind of calmed them down a bit and like, oh, we're back to the way we normally play. But we were creating chances. We probably should have been about 4-0 up at one point, and we're just half-heartedly hitting them straight to the goalkeeper a couple of times. Story of the season, really, isn't it? But we were winning, so it didn't really matter at that point. But you wanted that extra one because you'd never know. So it was that kind of nervy moment at one point until we did get the second goal.
Yeah, as Carr touches on there, we had so many chances. I think Kirsty Howitt could have probably had a hat trick across the full game. She had that many chances, but they were just kind of hitting them high, wide, and not very handsome.
Definitely, and Rio will be kicking herself just after she came on. She got played through, clean through and goal, and she took a really heavy first touch. It gave Charlotte Parker the chance to come out and smother a ball. But, she was very quick off her line on a couple of occasions. We were clean through and denied Rachel Rowe a quite similar chance as well. So you were just a wee bit nervy as much as we weren't under much threat at the back. Hearts have players in the team that can score goals and we had a half chance. So you just wanted the comfort of that second goal and you were starting to wonder if it was actually going to come.
Yeah, Cara, that leads me on perfectly to the fact that a second goal did come and up steps Lizzie Arnott. I think, considering we'll talk about like if she was going to get another contract and maybe she would be one that would be moved on, and then she shows why she's got that other contract because she puts us 2-0 up.
Yeah, I mean, it's not a wonder strike by any stretch of the imagination, but she hits it perfectly. The goalie doesn't get to it and it just squeezes into that bottom corner. You couldn't really ask for much more, but she didn't hit it particularly hard, so maybe the Hearts keeper probably should have done better, but again, not complaining about that. If they want to not have a very good day against us, I'll never be mad about it. But Lizzie does offer that, and just over the course of a season, that will add up, so it's good to have her there to, she seems to be a lot more comfortable now this last part of the season since she'll be back from her injury. She's definitely fit back in a bit better. So I don't know if it has just been a confidence thing coming back from the injury, but she certainly stepped up this last couple of months, really. She's popped up with a few goals, but another one that sees us very comfortably then just basically having a party in the pouring rain.
Yeah, around 87 minutes, Sarah Ewan comes on to replace Kirsty Howitt, and I think from there on it was kind of just seeing the game out. They were still trying to kind of score in that again, but it was basically just kind of seeing the game out, and then Libby Bands came on for Chelsea, and for there it was just keep it tight at the back. I think Hatch, maybe as it got more open, Hatch kind of pushed forward a couple of times, but Vic really never had much to do at all.
No, Vic had maybe one or two saves she had to react very quickly to, but by and large we kept the threats to a minimum. And as you say, once Lizzie scored, I think the team knew that was it. The game was done. They just had to sort of see it out. They didn't have to go and chase and go and look for anything else. You could enjoy the last 5 minutes in injury time. Not too dissimilar to when we scored the second goal in the semi-final. We got to sort of enjoy the end of the game. So it was good for players. They got to enjoy the season end like that, and enjoy the last 5-10 minutes at Hampden.
Yeah, Carso, it finished 2-0. Another trophy in the cabinet, one that we haven't actually won until today. So a bit of history made there, and we finished the season with 2 trophies, 2 cups.
Yeah, I mean, the competition's been going for 45 years, I think I saw on Twitter somebody say. So to have never won it is a travesty, to be honest. But for this team to go and do it this season when we've already won the first cup, to then go and, at the end of a very tiring season, they played a lot of games, a lot of difficult moments, especially last week. We're so close to potentially winning the treble to just fall short. I'm sure a few players could see it far enough, but they all stepped up, did their jobs, and Joe Potter's come in and just absolutely revolutionised the club, and we finally won that trophy. So hopefully we kick on next season and go and retain it.
Yeah, Alan, so for today's game, who would you see the player of the match would be?
Very sort of tough choice, or it's got to be sort of in the midfield, the sort of work it done. I would say Chelsea done a fantastic game. She clearly must have been bored by a bit of an injury through the week because she had the leg all strapped up, but she lasted to late on in almost injury time. But I thought Liv McLaughlin was absolutely immense today. You know, she was everywhere. You know, she was directing play. You know, you could see how often she was telling players where to run, where to play the ball. You know, and she was tenacious in getting the ball back. You know, she covered brilliantly for Rachel when she was going forward, and that's exactly what you want a sort of central defensive midfielder to be doing. So definitely love for me.
Cash, need I ask?
But actually, now that I've actually thought about it, because obviously it was going to be Rachel McLaughlin, because that's a stupid question, because that goal is just incredible. But I think I've got to agree with Alan. Liv was really good today. I mean, she's good every week, but today especially in tight areas where there was maybe like 3 or 4 players, 4 is a bit of an exaggeration, but there was 2 or 3 players around her. She was getting the ball out, a couple of really good, perfectly timed tackles that probably, if she'd got it wrong, could have been yellow cards. But she was absolutely everywhere, and she's just been a tremendous player for us all season. So as much as I want to give it to Rachel McLaughlin, I just put that out there. I'm going to give it to Liv as well.
Controversial.
No. Hope she's not watching.
Yeah. That's the fan club. Just ripped them out. Shocking. But yeah, I think I would agree with Liv. But on that, Alan, I think Liv's somebody that's been enjoying her football here. So hopefully Joe's been talking to her and kind of convincing her to maybe come up for another season or maybe sign permanently.
That would definitely be something that please, I think, everybody involved in the club. You know, I think she's clearly fitted in well to the group. You know, Joe's started in almost every game since she signed. You know, she's very popular with the fans. You know, we've all seen that she's got better and better sort of week after week. You know, she maybe took a couple of games to adapt to the physicality of the league, but you know, she's absolutely thriving on it. And initially, I thought there's no chance that she'll stay up here, but she seems to be really enjoying it and sort of giving signs maybe there's a wee bit of hope there. And maybe she's going to be like the rest of the team and a wee bit annoyed at no winning the league and want to put that right. So let's keep our fingers crossed and hope Joe works some magic now.
You agree with that, Car?
Oh, 100%. She's definitely someone that we need to try at least as hard as we can. I'm sure she wants to stay. It seems like she wants to stay. She's, you know, going back to Villa with, if she does go back down, with 2 winners' medals, which is, you know, not to be harsh, but more than they've won this season. So she gets to walk in there and be like, well, look what I've done. They all love me. Look how well I've done. You know, do you want to keep me? Like, do you know, basically try and like bump up her contract to see if she can get more money if that's what she's in for. But I would absolutely love our midfield next season to be Chelsea Cornet, Kirsty McLean and Liv McLaughlin, because that midfield is scary. You know, when they're fully on their game and all fully fit. Obviously, Kirsty McLean's just come back from injury, so not 100% there. Not that she's been bad. She's been incredible for, you know, the few games that she has been back. But Liv McLaughlin is definitely one that we need to be looking at pronto. And I'm sure Joe's already spoken to her. I'm sure there's talks going on in the background, but I really, really hope that happens.
Yeah, that remains to be seen. We might actually have to do another pod if we sign players and if people go or whatever, but we'll see what happens. So, Alan, how would you kind of sum up the season? Obviously, a couple of trophies, Champions League, but successful overall?
I'd probably stop short of saying successful, you know, because we're Rangers and we didn't win the league, but there's so much to be positive about. We spoke about it last week, sort of fresh off the heart of no winning the league. You know, it's to be in that position and be as ridiculously positive as we are, but going forward is, it seems crazy, but there's so much going on at the club, you know, and so much sort of developed in the year that Joe's been there, and you know, it's now sort of accelerating. You know, Donald Gillies has been in position for a few months now. You know, I think we'll really start to see his influence, you know, increase. You know, we've all sort of spoken to him and, you know, been mightily encouraged by what he's had to say, you know, and any time we've ever spoken to Joe, you know, nothing but encouragement every time we hear Joe speak. So I think a lot to be positive about, but still things to improve on. And I'm sure Joe's probably going to enjoy the night and then get back to planning what to start improving for next season.
Yeah, Cash. Obviously, Joe said several times that the team's ahead of where she expected for them for the timescale that she's been with them. So I think in that kind of aspect, it's fairly successful, because I don't think she would have expected us to even win 2 trophies, push the league all the way, and have Champions League when we missed out on it last year.
Yeah, I mean, all things considered, you obviously look back at moments where, you know, you're hurting because we didn't win the league, but to take it to goal difference, you know, essentially be 13 goals away from winning a treble, it's just incredible in Joe's first year as manager. And, you know, she put a lot of faith in the players that were already here, especially the young players like Mia, Ailey, Kirsty McLean even, because if you look back at the start of the season, Kirsty McLean wasn't who she is now. You know, she was this youngster that had a bags of talent. But the year before that, it was all about Emma Watson. You know, it was that kind of thing. So to think how improved everyone has been under her is incredible. Like Alan, I'm just a little bit shy of successful, purely because we didn't win the league. But to be so close, I'm kind of teetering on the edge of it. Basically, it's because what Joe has done. It's better than last year. We've won 2 trophies instead of 1, and we're back in Champions League, which is, you know, just incredible for this club. It's where we should be. So next year we just have to kick on and to win everything.
Definitely. So, Alan, the transfer.
What about your opinion? You know, you're missing out in your opinion of the season, Laura.
Well, you have pretty much covered everything, so there's not much else that I can really add. They've done as much as we could, and we've built on a good foundation for next season and the coming seasons with the players that we've signed on 2-3 year contracts. So, yeah, solid foundations are there, and we need to retain the trophies and add the league to it, and then it really will be successful. I forgot totally where I was going to go next, but obviously the transfer window will be opening soon. We're going to have Champions League draws. Kat, actually, I'll come to you because you had mentioned before we came on when the Champions League draw.
It's the 5th of July is the draw, and then the actual the bit we go into, it's like that mini tournament with the semi-final and the final. I'm sure it was whatever the Wednesday, say like the 5th of September, and then it's the 7th is the final, should we get there. Hopefully we're jetting off somewhere sunny.
Yeah, hopefully. So exciting times to come, Alan. Do you see us bringing in many players? Obviously Lisa's away, so we'll probably need to bring in like another centre back. We're unsure what's going to happen with some of the other players leaving, so probably going to need a few players in kind of during the summer.
Definitely. I think Joe's obviously quite happy with the nucleus of squad. You know, we've obviously just spoke about 8 players signing extended contracts, so I do think we'll see a large core of this team still in place, but I'd expect we'll probably see sort of 4 or 5 new faces, you know, similar to sort of what we've brought in over the course of this season. You know, Joe's now had a sort of look at the league. You know, she's had a look at what it's like being a manager and having that sort of balance to try and compete in all fronts. And she'll also have sort of one eye on what she wants to try and make an impact in Europe. So we're obviously going to have a more difficult path in Europe going into the sort of runners-up pot. So, you know, we'll maybe make some signings geared towards getting people bedded in early for that.
Yep, Karen, then we'll have pre-season friendlies, and there'll maybe be a trip away or whatever for that as well. So lots to look forward to in the coming season as well.
Yeah, there definitely is, and obviously as much as the season's just ended literally today, we're all raring to go and wanted to get kicked back up, because as much as a break is nice sometimes, because it's really been go this season. It's been very busy for us, especially as a group. We've had a lot going on all season, so probably enjoy a wee week and a half break and then be like, well, Sundays are boring without football. But it's an exciting time, a lot of games to look forward to, especially the Champions League. Obviously couldn't go last time, so hopefully this time it's, you know, an option for us and we can get away and support the team. And just having Joe at the helm's been an exciting enough prospect, because what she's done already is incredible. So it's exciting to see what she does when, you know, she said this is the bedding in season. So next season is going to be even more exciting with hopefully who she can bring in. So we'll be checking Twitter and, you know, the socials all the time, see who we brought in, see what's going on, get some news hopefully.
Yeah, so we'll just kind of round it up there, and if there's enough content to kind of put together a podcast, I'm sure you'll be happy to, because we'll have a, as you say, a week and a half, and then we'll be chatting about a bit, wanting to talk about football and that again. So if there's enough content, we'll fire up another podcast and stick it on the socials and see where we go from there. But as always, thanks to Kat and Alan for joining me this evening. Thanks to everybody that's tuned in. Like, share, and subscribe, and you'll be the first to get all the content. You can listen to it whenever you want. Follow us on social media, chat to us, and speak to us at games, whatever. Obviously, when we're back next season. But yep, thanks for all your support for everybody, and thanks to Kat and Alan for joining me as always.
Thanks, Lauren.
Thanks to both of you.
And Alan.
I will see you either June, the summer, or next season. Who knows? Right, thank you, and we'll speak to you soon.